Breaking news, the OBR chief Richard Hughes has now resigned over the budget leak. You guys will remember last week when it was budget day, barely anyone was listening to Rachel Reeves in the chamber because everybody had already read the budget on their phones. They may as well have just gone straight to Kemi Badenoch to give her rebuttal because there was no point Rachel Reeves talking there for over an hour. Everyone knew what the contents of the budget were. This was a huge error, and we have had the damning report coming out. That was an investigation into how on earth this budget was leaked. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of different headlines coming out today changing the story. Was it some sort of cyber attack, etc.? But now we know it is the OBR's fault. We're going to take a look at that resignation letter in a moment, up close. Here it is. But before that, let's take a look at what the report has said after this investigation into this. And also we're going to talk after that about whether this has saved Rachel Reeves's job, because the Tories today have been saying that Rachel Reeves is using the OBR as a human shield. Remember that she is in hot water for potentially lying to the public and misleading Parliament, making up a black hole that doesn't exist to justify her huge hikes in taxes to pay for the benefit street budget, as Kemi Badenoch called it. So let's take a look at what is in the report. This is what Sky News are saying after they've seen the report and summarised it here for us. So they say it boils down to the document going onto the OBR's web platform that day, and if you could guess the website address, you could see it. Okay, folks, so this wasn't some really intricate cyber attack, right? They thought, no one will be able to see the budget until we send people the link and put out the link publicly. But they didn't think to make the link look different from last year. So what did a few smart people do? They just decided, oh, well, we'll take the link that we were able to access the budget on last year, and in the link it says 2024. We're just going to change that 4 to a 5 and see if that is the correct link to access the budget. And woohoo! There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Real genius in the IT department at the OBR. Clearly, they've really got their security up to scratch, haven't they? I mean, how stupid do you have to be? Do you not think of all the journalists and politicians desperate to get their hands on this, that nobody would think of that? Nobody would think of just taking last year's link and changing 2024 to 2025. You genuinely cannot make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. The people running this country are absolute clowns. Absolute clowns. Unbelievable. So that meant that people were able to access it after the budget was uploaded at 11:30 a.m, folks. And it wasn't just, it probably wasn't just one person that tried to do this, because what we're hearing is that someone tried to access the correct website with the right URL that they guessed at 5:16 a.m. in the morning, and there were a total of 44 unsuccessful attempts made before it was uploaded. So basically, you could go to the correct URL, but they didn't upload the actual document of the budget on there until 11:30. But we weren't given the budget until 12:30. That we were meant to find out about the budget from Rachel Reeves at the dispatch box at 12:30, but they put the document on the website at 11:30 and thought, if we don't send the link out to anybody until 12:30, when we're ready to rock and roll, nobody's going to see it. No one could possibly guess the URL if it's the same as last year. Just with 2024 change to 2025, like, honestly, that's some of the stuff, am I in a dream? Or, if I pinch myself, am I going to wake up? Because it's genuinely unbelievable. The levels of incompetency we see in these people running the country. Some of them are so stupid. It's genuinely unbelievable. And then sure enough, it was all over the news. All the MPs had read it. And then they decided 38 minutes later. So that will be at 18 minutes past 12. So 12 minutes before Rachel Reeves was about to give her speech. And they thought, if we just take it down, it'll be fine. What was the point in taking it down 12 minutes before the budget and then putting it back up again 12 minutes later? What was the point? Okay, everyone's got it at that point. Just cut your losses, honestly. Unbelievable. Now, as I've told you folks, the OBR chief, Richard Hughes, he has resigned. Now that picture there is from when he put out a video doing an apology from the OBR for the budget leak. But now he has decided that he is going to go. He is the head that is going to roll. We don't know exactly, was he forced out, was he pushed out, or was this a conscientious decision of his? I don't know. But this is what he says. He says, "Dear Chancellor and Dame Meg, I'm writing to you following the publication of the report of the investigation into the November 2025 Economic and Fiscal Outlook publication error. The OBR plays a vital role in the UK's fiscal policy making, and it is critical that the government, Parliament and the public continue to have confidence in the work that it does. The inadvertent early dissemination of our economic and fiscal outlook on 26th of November was a technical but serious error." It was a very serious error, by the way, because it really affects the markets. It doesn't just mean, oh, nobody listened to Rachel Reeves. It has an impact on the markets, folks. Very market sensitive information was released. That's why this is considered so egregious, this error, not just because Rachel's upset that nobody wanted to listen to her in the chamber. The report the OBR has submitted to the Treasury and the Treasury Committee of the House of Commons sets out how and why it happened and identifies the further actions the office will take to ensure that it never happens again. I'm grateful to Baroness Sarah Hogg and Dame Susan Rice for overseeing the report, to Professor Kieran Martin for providing expert input, and the joint OBR Treasury team that produced it so expeditiously. By implementing the recommendations in the report, I am certain the OBR can quickly regain and restore the confidence and esteem that it has earned through 15 years of rigorous independent economic analysis. I'm not sure it's got the best reputation because most of your forecasts are often wrong, but there we go. You say what you need to say in your letter. But I also need to play my part in enabling the organisation that I have loved leading for the past 5 years to quickly move on from this regrettable incident. I have therefore decided it is in the best interest of the OBR for me to resign as its chair and take full responsibility to the shortcomings identified in the report. He is resigning as chair, folks. He is gone, done and dusted, okay? But I said it at the beginning of the video, I'll repeat again. Has this saved Rachel Reeves? Rachel Reeves is in hot water. We've had all sorts of headlines coming out today of them, Rachel Reeves did mislead the public. She didn't mislead the public. She did. She didn't. She did. She didn't. This was the black hole. This was the black hole. There wasn't a black hole. There was a black hole. It changes every 2 minutes, folks. But we have had the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, James Murray, in Parliament just now, trying to justify his position to MPs, insisting why Rachel Reeves did not mislead the public. So as part, why is this linked to the story we're talking about? That is because, folks, the OBR leaked report also had in it its forecasts and whatnot, saying what the deficits and the surpluses in terms of public spending were, right? And the OBR said, and then they ended up putting out a statement clarifying later, after there was all this talk of this black hole. They basically said, actually, Rachel Reeves has claimed that there's some 20-odd billion black hole and she needs to put taxes up to fill it, and that it's because of this fiscal situation that she's been put in that she's had to put taxes up. But they've actually said, no, there wasn't a black hole. Like, we didn't say that. And so then what it's looking like is that she made this up so that she could justify a load of extra cash for benefits, because we know that the welfare spending is absolutely ballooning and she can't face her backbench MPs that won't let her do it. She has used a bad fiscal situation and a black hole to try and justify another 26 billion after 40 billion in tax hikes last year. So I don't know, has this been a good distraction to save Rachel Reeves, or after the news of this blows over tomorrow, will the finger be back on Rachel Reeves? Will she last? Let me know what you think in the comments below, folks. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Chloe Dobbs. If you enjoyed this video and you want more news updates, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. It's free and it massively helps us out. See you next time.